You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, now we're here for Drake Queen Gaming. It's 7 Mount toward the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Angels with Scaly Wings, Anna's Path. So y'all, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. With Torolf's just around the corner, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Let's go. Okay. Oh, the investigation is going swimmingly, but as you can expect, we need all the help we can get. As usual. With how this case has been going, we've realized we must employ external help. Oh? Yeah, we've requested assistance from one of the cities. We hope they'll send some good investigators our way soon. I see. We were so close today. He could have been in there, you know. Maybe we just came a few minutes too late. And if he knows how to make bombs from generators, who's to say he won't start using them elsewhere? At least he doesn't have any right now, does he? You said all the generators that were stolen are now accounted for. True. Still, this whole case is growing to be too much for a small-town police department. I hope you'll get all the help you'll need. Me too. But right now, you can help us again. Well, what do you have for me? When we searched the building, we found more than the things Russell stole. We also found this bloody bandage. Do you think that's his? That's what we need to find out. But given all that we know, it probably is. So he's wounded. We know he was injured during a fight with his first victim. But whether this is from the same wound or something else, I'm not sure. In any case, you could bring it to the lab for us to find out more. Sure. Next, we have a witness who reported hearing loud bangs during the night. We'd like to send someone to make a follow-up visit. You'll need to confirm the witness statement, then see if he has anything new to share. Also, now that we've reclaimed their PDAs, we're going to send one to the archives for analysis. Since they have experience with human artifacts, they're better suited to do it than any of our departments. No problem. And lastly, we have the eggs. It's a relief that we found them unharmed in the building. They're safe and ready to be sent back to the hatchery. Shouldn't we take care of those first? It's not as urgent as you might think. Our eggs are pretty resilient. Being in the care of the hatchery is more an insurance than a requirement. Some people choose to keep them in their own home until they hatch, rather than having the hatchery take care of it. The hatchery has been notified, but they won't be able to send someone for a few hours. I've heard that they're really understaffed. If you bring the eggs and paperwork to them, you'd speed up the process, but it's not an urgent matter. I see. In any case, I'll just leave everything here until I get to it. So feel free to do these tasks as you wish. I know it's laughable that we don't even have a free hand for simple errands. Don't worry about it. And by the way, are you planning to attend the summer festival? Should I? It's hard to think about something fun when I'm wrapped up in this investigation. For sure, it's important to take a short rest so you don't lose your head. There's so much to see at the festival, particularly the big fireworks. Dragons enjoy fireworks too? I would think something like that would feel so commonplace, since many of you breathe fire. It's not quite the same. We still appreciate the wonder of colorful bursts in the sky. On the last day, there's always a big fireworks show. Everyone usually attends it. Everyone? Yes, there's a great tradition behind it. What pleases me most is that they'll be on guard duty when it happens this year, so I probably won't be able to see a thing. Second, now, water time. I'll be sure not to miss it then. Anyways, I should get back to the investigation now. I'll leave this stuff for you here, and I'll take care of the rest once I get back, alright? Sure thing. Good luck, Keegan. You too. Facility, I bet that is, part of Anna's Path. We'll do that. Yeah, there we go. When I approached Anna's lab, I saw her sitting on the hallway floor, the door to her lab wide open. Ooh, excuse me. Hey, Anna. Oh, it's you. What's going on here? The police came and raided the place. Well, what? Why? It's a long story, and I'm not going to tell it now. Is it bad? I don't know yet. I'm not sure how they expect me to work in these conditions, considering I get assignments from the council and the state and the police. Status. Abandoned. Oh, God. Huh. Interesting. I don't know yet. I'm not sure how they expect me to work in these conditions, considering I get assignments from the council and the police. And then they both turn around and mess up the place as if it's part of their job. It doesn't make sense to me. Someone's going to hear about this, and there will be consequences, I can tell you that. Anyways, what did you want? I'm here to drop this off for you, courtesy of the police. That's what I'm talking about. Mess up my place and ask for my help. Something isn't right here, and I'll get to the bottom of this. What is this anyway? I'm sorry, it's a bloody bandage for analysis. It's related to the Reza investigation. Alright then, I'll take it. Not for the police department's sake, but for yours. Don't let me hold you up. I'm sure you have places to be. Well, I'll see you then. Yeah. Aww. Visit the witness. Alright. Ah! Can I help you? You must be Ipsum, is that right? Sure. I'm working with the police and I hope you can answer a few questions. Because I responded to your call for witnesses about last night, right? Yes. Alright, what do you want to know? Can you tell me what happened? Sure, I was running an experiment in my home laboratory and waiting for it to finish. Around 2 a.m. I suddenly hear a few bangs outside. They reminded me of small explosions. It sounded like they were coming from just around the corner. I see. Did nothing about this seem unusual to you? Not really. I know I've caused a few similar disturbances with my experiments before. If someone else decided to take up home experimentation, they certainly have my approval. Water time. Besides, I wasn't in any position to abandon the experiment that was running at the time, or else it could have had a similar outcome. Thank you. I think that'll be all. No problem. Thanks for all your help. Now that the facility has received the bandage, maybe we'll discover something new. I'll take care of the remaining tasks, so you can take the rest of the day off. I'm sure you have things to do other than helping the police department. No problem, really. My trip to your world wasn't supposed to be a vacation. Alright then, I'll see you next time. See ya. For ya. After this fateful day, I was glad to finally have some sort of respite. I wandered into the kitchen as I considered tonight's dinner. Should I cook something or order out? When I returned to the living room, I suddenly found my strength leaving me and collapsed to the floor. Okay. Oh, yeah, right. The next thing I saw was a blurry stone ceiling. As my eyesight slowly returned, I managed to sit up. I was in a cave, and before me stood a familiar, mysterious face. I apologize for the violence, but I can assure you it was the easiest way. Looks like you've seen this before. Skip to the character selection? No. As you wish. Where am I? Is this your hideout? Just a temporary accommodation so we can be undisturbed for this meeting. Someone else used to live here until recently. Do you know who I am? Well, you're not Reza. Good. What did it take for you to figure that out? Since you're not whispering anymore, I can hear it clearly in your voice. I had a feeling that you couldn't be him since the first time we met, though. Which first time are you talking about? The generator in the cellar, when you pushed me. I see. You can call me the administrator. No other humans are supposed to be here, though. I assume that's why you're wearing the mask. You don't want to be recognized. That is correct. Whoever you are, you also saved my life. On more than one occasion. Your presence here doesn't make any sense. You couldn't have come through the portal. The dragons would have noticed. This is where you are wrong. My arrival through the portal is what led to the dragons to discover it in the first place. Is that so? When I crawled out from the hole in the earth that hit the portal, there were no guards to discover me. My appearance exposed the portal, but the dragons didn't know it was there yet. Since you arrived even before Reza, that makes you the actual first human to come to this world. That is more true than you might think. Just who are you then? I may have arrived through the portal like you, but my story is very different. Before the fall of humanity, I was an engineer. I was part of a team that was formed to create bioweapons. Our task was to create these bioweapons in a country where their development hadn't yet been regulated or outlawed. These weapons were planned to be a low-cost alternative for poor countries to wage war, so they would no longer have to rely on expensive drones and machines for warfare. So, water time. I was to set up the lab where our bioweapon development would take place. It was a clandestine operation, set to be in the middle of the wilderness. The laboratory was an independent research and living unit, and provided everything we needed without having to rely on external resources or even an existing power grid. Everything was to be teleported right into the middle of nowhere, with no traces or paper trail to follow, so international communities and law enforcement would have no idea of our operations. Our only connection to the outside world after setup would have been a two-way portal to our headquarters, who would provide everything we needed. While we already could teleport individual people, teleporting a whole building was another matter entirely. Our solution was matter compression technology, incredibly expensive, but operating in the gray market was also very lucrative. The technology behind it was much more complicated than even teleportation, despite being based on it. While teleportation works by utilizing black holes with a beginning and an end, compression technology relies on a loop, keeping matter in a sort of limbo state until the loop is broken. Working with black holes was very complicated work to begin with, but this shape required much more finesse, and thus was much more expensive. I was to be sent alone to set up the lab and the portal so the rest of the team could arrive safely. In case you didn't know, it is possible to use a portal to send someone to a previously defined endpoint. Therefore, it is not required to have a portal at the destination to be sent there. But as you can imagine, this is also very dangerous. A single variable off by a fraction could mean the difference between landing safely at your destination and smothering in space. Of course, my employer did not want anything like that to happen, not necessarily for my own sake, but because of all the unfathomably expensive equipment I had with me. Regardless, something went wrong anyway. Despite all their checks and safeguards, I could only minimize the risk so much. Even if the risk is a fraction of a fraction, sometimes you are just that unlucky. And sometimes it turns out that your bad luck is a blessing in disguise. I arrived safely somewhere in the jungles of Earth, yet it was not the destination that had been planned. I knew something was off, but nevertheless I set to work immediately. At the very least, I could prepare the building. I would have shelter, and then I could begin preparations for our project. Getting the portal into working order would take more time, as it was a complicated process that could take several weeks. If things had gone wrong as I suspected, I would at least be able to establish contact with headquarters after the portal had been set up, and I would be able to return. While teleporting the lab to the wrong location was certainly a costly mistake, I was still lucky to have my life. Before long, I discovered the truth about the place I had arrived. While it was still on Earth, it was not the Earth I knew. It was the Earth of 65 million years ago. We knew that by utilizing black holes for my teleportation, time travel was a theoretical possibility. Second, y'all. Water time. It was something even my company didn't dare to attempt, though as teleportation in itself was still a very new technology. Yet here I was, 65 million years in the past, with a research station all to myself. The company would revel in the opportunity to study and profit from all the different life forms I could see. If only they knew about them. I spent the few weeks setting up the portal as planned, yet when I tried to re-establish contact with my employer, I was met with silence. Despite the time discrepancy, the portal should have been able to find my company in the present. For a black hole, sending something through time is no different than sending something through space. However, when we built the portals, we gave them a specialized configuration. It was only possible to travel through space by aligning them across the time axis. That meant that I, in the past, would still be able to research for portals in the present to connect with. My counterparts in the present, though, would not be able to find me in the past even if they tried. But I couldn't find them, not a single one. Even after checking the portal for its function, I determined that, for all intents and purposes, the portals from the company should have been there to connect with. It was then that I had a terrible realization. The portals in the present didn't exist anymore, or were no longer operational. Maybe the blunder of teleporting the lab caused them to reconsider the risks of using this technology. After all, it was already controversial and had been outlawed in several countries. I wouldn't have been surprised if they decided to cut their losses, but it was highly unlikely that they would have immediately shut down every single portal and left me stranded without notice. Portal technology was still being relied on in several places in the present. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. But before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to all of our lovely patrons. Thank you to all of our bronze tier patrons. Thank you for all you donate to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you so much for going a little bit above and beyond. We greatly appreciate it. And for our gold tier patron, Amar, thank you so much. We love you. You're awesome. We hope you appreciate your new icon. And anyway, y'all, if y'all want to get on the credits at the end of each video, hey, it's as little as $5 a month. Anyway, y'all, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!